Hey guys, it is Tuesday, so it is time for our lesson. Today we're going to talk about Jacob wrestling with an angel. You can read this, which I'm going to read it to you too, but you can go yourself and read it also in Genesis 32, chapter 32, verses 22 through 32. Okay. And he rose up that night, he being Jacob, and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford Jabbok. And he took them and sent them over the brook, and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of thy place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. And as he passed over Peniel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore the children of Israel ate not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh, unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh and the sinew which shrank. Now, why did he touch Jacob's thigh? You know, the thigh is the largest and strongest muscle connection of the body. He is deliberately crippling Jacob at the point of his greatest strength. And it said the custom of not eating the sinew, which would have been tendons and muscle and nerves, which it says in 32, it says the sinew which shrank, is still followed by many Jewish people. To this day, it's a custom that the Jewish people do not eat that. And it says the ford Jabbok was like a little creek or stream of water. Okay. And the new name Jacob received means God strives, and he who strives with God. You know, Jacob spent an entire night wrestling with an angel. After an entire night of wrestling, the angel told Jacob to walk away. Jacob left with a new hip, with a new name, and a limp from his hurt hip. You know, when it says he halted upon his thigh, halt here means limping. You know, we sometimes struggle with God, too. We may want to do things our way instead of his way. You know, this is a lesson for all of us. As we need to surrender to God, you know, we need to surrender to God's will and trust that he knows what's best. Now, to me, Jacob was guilty of what he did to his brother Esau, and he knew it. Up until this point, Jacob relied on his own wits for his success, but now he didn't know what would happen. His survival was dependent on his brother's forgiveness and his wrongdoings. Jacob had no control over his brother's heart, but there was one who did. You know, to me, it's significant that the wrestling match happened at night. During the day, we can be so distracted by the busyness of life and what's happening in this world and just a cluster of things. You know, the quiet and solitude of night makes us face the fears we hold in our hearts. It was time for Jacob to see that he could no longer depend on his own strength. The forgiveness he needed to survive was out of his control. I think we all need to come to the point of recognizing our wrongs and our weaknesses. It's only through God's mercy that we can be forgiven, and his grace sees us through. His grace sees us through that night. His grace sees us through these struggles we face and things going on in this world and this life. And honestly, I don't know how anybody can go through this world without God. If you don't know him, you need to. That was our lesson for today. I truly enjoyed it, and I hope you all do too. I love each and every one of you. You have a good week. I want you, if you're watching this, if you've got anything you're worrying about, wondering about, stressing over, lay it at God's feet. Pray. Let God take control of it. Everything will be fine. I love you all. You have a good week. I will see you Friday with our Fun Fact Friday video. Bye.